Good evening, folks. Good evening, folks. It's evening on this side of the globe, on the eastern side, eastern board. It's currently 7 p.m., right? And I'm coming to you for Sunday's inspiration and motivation, right? Over this past weekend, I spent a lot of time at a family reunion, and it was awesome, and it was miraculous, and it was such joy. Right, I come to you because today's topic of inspiration is the understanding of love, right? And I really want to go into that, and I'm going to go into it in depth, right? What people receive from it, what people's perceptions of what I say, or opinions or viewpoints, I respect them all, right? Everyone is entitled to perceive it the way that they choose to perceive it, right? And that's the importance. That's what I actually am here to inspire people, is that everyone's perception of an experience may vary from person to person, right? But one thing that never varies, right, when you really tap into it, is the understanding of love, right? And I want to speak on this, right? And anyone who may have a difference of a view or opinion, I'm okay with it, right? And we can even converse about it at any time here on Inspiration Through Information, right? Because that is the jewel of the whole concept of inspiration through information, right? To acquire, obtain information, and to share it with the purpose of inspiring people, right, to really get the fullness out of what it is that they acquire and the knowledge that they acquire, right? So when we talk about love, when we talk about the understanding of love, first we must delve into the concept of what is love, right? Now, as I ask this question, many people have many interpretations of what love is, right? Or what love ain't, so to speak, right? And it's always based in one's own understanding and knowledge of what love is. Each individual's interpretation, whether it's passed on through genes, whether it's learned through experience, right? Whether it's read in a book, right? It is how they interpret it, right? And then they come up with the definition of what love is, right? Or it can be from the Webster Dictionary. Prior to one reading the word in the dictionary or the definition in the dictionary, right? Which is people's common go-to. People's common go-to about a word is, let's look in the dictionary and see what that word means, right? But if you really study a dictionary, especially here in America, right, 99% of the words in there derive from another word, right, from another area outside of America, from another language. So what that's telling you is that this is how they deciphered the word according to their understanding. And they wrote in the diction, right? They say love is an expression, right? It's an expression that's given, it's an expression that received, it's an expression that's felt, right? But then you go through society and in life, right? And this is not everyone, but we talking about the common trail of love, right? And if you honestly ask somebody, what is it that they believe love is, right? They will give you an amount of reasons through their own perspective, amount of beliefs through their own belief system of what love is. Sometimes a lot of people will share an expression of love that's not truly their belief in what love is. It's the belief that was passed on. It's the belief that was given to them from an understanding from maybe their parents, grandparents, siblings, associates, right? And then they incorporate all the difference, and then they make it out to be their reason, right? And then sometimes they sit around and wonder why, as it's said, love is not working in their life. Why is it that I can't find a true love? Why is it that I can't have a love of a lifetime? Is it that my love is not as smooth as the presentation of other people who send love, right? And then you may listen to quote unquote people of famous entities or people who are publicly known, right? And they give you an expression of love, and they say, you know, sometimes it's good time, sometimes it's bad time, it's enduring, it's experiences, it's going through things, right? Listen, and coming out on the other side, you know, in a state of joy, right? This is what they value, or what they express their love is, right? But all of them in a nutshell, what I've come to find out through research, through study, through personal experiences, but main so is that most people believe that love has some type of entity to it, or some type of connection to it, right? Me personally, I'm here to say the understanding of love is that you don't have an understanding of it at all, right? For one, you ask yourself, and I'm asking the people, does love exist whether or not you are part of it? If you don't participate in it, does love still exist? Is love still present, even though it's not present in your life? Does love still exist, right? And I'm here to tell you, yes, it does, right? This is one of the things that I've learned through life and through experience and study, is that people spend a lot of time trying to restructure love according to their needs, according to their wants, according to their ideas of what love is. And this is the main reason why people tend to trip up, or quote unquote have bad experiences, to where they don't believe in love anymore, right? I've come to learn to understand that love don't need your permission to exist. Love do not even need your assistance in making it travel, or making it be a part of. Love will happen whether or not you do anything or not. Now we say, now how is that possible? How is that I'm going to experience love or have love if it ain't being expressed to me? Here's your answer. Here's your solution. It's already within you. Listen, if you delivering it, you shall receive it. Here's the issue. Here's the situation that we tend to trip over when it comes to love, right? We tend to take love and we try to wrap it around according to our perspective, according to our beliefs, according to the things that we may want or believe that love, that's supposed to happen when love is on the table. Now, I'm old enough to have been around to understand that, listen, I'll use it in the terms of music, because people tend to listen to music quite a bit, right? There's been songs written such as "Love Would Have Brought You Home Last Night," right? Listen, there's also a song that says "Love Will Make a Man Sleep Out in the Rain," right? Listen, there's so many different songs that express what love is, and in hearing all these different expressions, one would sit back and say, well, what is truly love? Because this individual has this expression, this individual has that expression, this one has that expression, right? Love is everything. Love is everything. Known and unknown. This is why we struggle with love in the essence of understanding love. You don't have to do anything to be loved. You don't have to receive anything to give love. Love is a feeling or an expression solely in you. But we get upset when we extend it and it's not returned. So therefore we misinterpret that love doesn't exist. If you are on any social media platform and you are projecting that you are a person of such goodness, qualities, and characteristics in love, and you not understanding, why is it that I can't find a good man? Why is it I don't have a good woman? Why is people this? Why is people that? Why is this and why is that? But here it is, I'm voting expression. Listen, I'm the one that's a goodness, right? But I'll tell you a little bit about me. I'll say, listen, I'm a little bipolar. I'm a little this, right? I have my hiccups, right? But all in all, I'm a good person. If that's so, And if that's 100% accurate, please tell me, why is it a need to manifest that in posts? Then people say, oh, don't believe what you see on Facebook, right? Don't believe what you say on social media, right? I don't buy into none of that stuff. But I know a fact, if a thought appears and we choose to share it, manifest it, that thought aligns with who we are or who we think we are in some shape, form, or fashion, right? But we want people to believe that we'll express it or we'll manifest it. Because guess what? Jamal or Inspiration Through Information ain't posting nothing that he don't align with just for the sake of posting it, just to see people's reactions towards it. See, that's not an act of love. That's not an act of care. That's not even an act of kindness. That's an act of malice, pun. Why would you say something or put something in a position just to find out where other people at? Do you think that keeps you ahead of the game? Do you believe that that's a step that you can take in order to stay one step ahead of the next individual because you believe that you're so sharp? No, that's an expression of a piece of you. But here's the hit. That is in all of us. It's just whether or not we choose to display it. But to think that it doesn't exist in us, right, is living in denial and falsehood all of us. So therefore, you become a false representation of who you truly are, because you're sitting there saying something doesn't exist in you, as if somehow miraculously you are different from someone else. Or somehow miraculously at one point in time in your life, you've never contributed these behaviors. We tend to misunderstand what the understanding of love is. The understanding of love is that this, when I tap into it, I will experience it, period. If I'm not tapping into it, I'm not going to experience it. But that does not mean it doesn't exist. It's just that myself. See, nobody ever want to take accountability for their actions. Somewhere along in my life, something happened to where my belief. See, we must always remember our belief system. In order to grow spiritually, you have to be honest about your belief system. Somewhere in life, something happened to where our belief in love, brought about a doubt. Because of the feelings or the pain that we experienced at one point in time, we contribute that to the whole presence of love. So therefore, we didn't really have a full understanding of it, right? I'm one of them individuals that I strongly believe in this, and I strongly walk this walk. No one is the determining factor of my love. I am. And if I choose to give it, choose to display it, I'm okay with that because I have great understanding of love, right? Listen, I'm going to release it. I'm going to give it. I'm going to put it into the atmosphere because that's what I want to do. Everybody always wants to do what they want to do until the results is not the results they were looking for. Now, when the results don't come back exactly how they thought it should or why it shouldn't, now we're looking for avenues to shift it off. And people always say, no, I take accountability for my actions. Is that before or after the resistance? Is it before or after the fight? Is it before or after the argument? And we only taking accountability just to end the argument or a difference of opinion. Are we truly taking accountability that, listen, when it comes to love, it is my personal preference to experience it, share it, or give it? That's full accountability. So guess what? When I choose to extend it, I also choose to accept whatever results come about from it. My job is not to worry about whether another individual receives it correctly, deals with it correctly or incorrectly, because to be honest with you, they can't deal with my love no kind of way other than what I allow them to deal with it. And what I mean by what I allow to them is this. If I'm dealing with someone, or if I'm with someone and I feel that they're not accurately or correctly or caringly dealing with my love that I'm expended, I have the power, the ability to separate myself from that. But in part of separation, right, I need to separate exactly how I came in. Because if I didn't have a problem with giving my love and whether they received it or not, when I walk away, I have to still be in that space. Because if I'm not in that space of goodness in which I was extending my love, that means I'm in a space of badness or bitterness. And a lot of people be in denial and say, I'm not bitter, I'm just mad. Okay, so why you can't be mad and upset without projecting it or taking it out on anyone else? So was your love true? Was your love true? Was the understanding of love true within you, right? Because if it was, you wouldn't have a problem with who doesn't want it and who doesn't want to align with it. You wouldn't even have no issues with it. See, the question is this, is that we're confusing love with like. We're confusing love with like, right? Love has no expression on it. Love does not like, dislike, hate. No, it does none of those things. Love exists. And it's up to the individual to either join the wave, get along the wave, and feel what love can do within themselves, listen, or stay off the wave. Understanding of love, when we get to the point and stop trying to manage love. How are you going to manage something that existed before you and will exist after you and do not need your permission to exist? How can you manage something like that and think that you're doing a great job at it? Those who've experienced what they consider true love and lifelong love are those who come to understand and allow love just to be. Leave it the hell alone. Let it do what it do. I'm only sharing this tonight on Sunday really to inspire folks to understand that like love is not absent in your life. You're absent in the wave of love. And until you really see it and understand that, right, you're going to continue to be absent in the stroke of love. It does not mean that there's no love out here for you or towards you. You can't feel it, you can't receive it, you can't enjoy it because you're absent from the love. And you're absent from the love based off of past emotional pain. For some cases, physical, right? I'm not denying no one's experiences, right? But even through that experience, love didn't stop existing. Your belief or your participation in it did. And if you ever want it back, or if you ever want to feel it or participate in it, it's going to require you to tap back into love. So the understanding of love is simply that it exists for us all. It's already in you. It's your responsibility to display it or tap into it or to expose it. But in order to do that, we must get away from our vulnerability, our fear of our vulnerability. We got to call it what it is, right? I'm afraid to love again. I'm afraid to trust again. I'm afraid because at some point in time, something happened that caused me not to believe in love, that caused me not to trust people, then all that. Listen, you don't have to trust everyone, but why are you walking around life distrusting everybody? We distrust everybody, and we only distrust people through lack of understanding. Lack of understanding. If you understand that you, yourself, and people can dispute that, people can feel like, oh, he don't know what he's talking about. Okay. That's fine. That's your entitlement, right? But I'm in a place of peace, right? I never miss a moment of love. I never miss a moment of love. For the simple reason is that, listen, love is already in me. And if I'm here, how the hell can I miss love? I tap into it and I stay tapped into it, right? Love is the highest form of understanding. So therefore, in order to get or tap in to the understanding of love, all you got to do is just move all your resistance. Yes, because they your resistances. You can blame it on this and you can blame it on that and you can put it wherever you want to put it. But at the end of the day, it's your resistance. If you make it harder to love, for someone to love you because you put all these so-called protectants in front of you, my question is this in closing. If you had the ability to protect yourself from a feeling, you wouldn't have never been hurt by the feeling in the first place. It would have been impossible for it to happen because you were capable of. Now, yes, some things happened to some folks, even myself, when we were younger, right? Where we couldn't protect ourselves, but here it is. I'm grown now, right? I'm a grown man, right? And I could spend a whole lot of time trying to protect my spirit, but I'm living a human experience. So even though I'm a spiritual person, right? And I am a spirit. In my essence, in my originality, I am a spirit. But right now, I'm living a human experience. So guess what? In order to live a human experience, mean I got to experience things as a human. And feelings come with being human. The more you try to protect, see, it's okay to feel whatever you feel. The choice on what you do with your feeling is solely yours. It's solely yours. So if you want to get some understanding of love, or if you would love for love, listen, I just experienced great love over the weekend with family members I ain't seen in a minute. Their lives have changed. My life has changed. A lot of things is taking place in all of our lives. But I came together and was able to listen, enjoy the love, and just reconnecting with my family. Reconnecting, listen. That don't mean that, listen, my thoughts was perfect. That don't mean that I was okay with a lot of things. What it meant that I made a conscious decision to enjoy the love. That's the understanding of love. The understanding of love, listen, tap into the love, and whatever else is going on ain't gonna matter in that moment in time. So when we go to things, or when we experience events, or when we get involved, or when we connect to people, if our mind is saying things like, I know somebody gonna act up, so I'm on full alert for when they act up, you have already shattered your possibility to enjoy the love. But if you come into it and say, listen, I'm going there and I'm just gonna tap into the love that exists, so therefore when I leave, I'm gonna leave in such a loving space. That's called understanding love. Understanding love is that, listen, you tap into it. You tap into it. You don't come trying to do it. You tap into it. I need you to tap into it. I need you to understand that love will exist with or without you. So, yes, that's your powerlessness, right? I know it's hard to hear. I know most people don't even want to accept the fact. You can't control, monitor, fix, manage love in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Love is pure energy. And in your human experiences, all you can do is tap into it. In other words, you got to plug into it. If you choose to take your plug out the outlet, it ain't nobody's fault why you ain't feeling or receiving no love. Or if you continue to plug into a bad outlet that continuously sending you electrical shock, and every time you plug it in, you get shocked with electricity, you can avoid that. Either fix your cord or plug into a different outlet. But I promise you that you'll get the love. You'll get the love. All you got to do is want the love. Don't want the like. Don't want the like. I done lived enough life. Would I like people to like me? Sure. If they choose not to like me, it's not going to shift me at one way or the other because I choose to be loving. If you really talking about you want to take control of something, take control of self. Take control of self. Get accountability. If you ain't feeling good, tell yourself, I ain't feeling good because I made the conscious decision to not feel good. Such and such happened, and now in a moment's time, and now I want to feel bad all day long. That's you doing that. That ain't nobody. That ain't the boyfriend. That ain't the wife. That ain't the job. That ain't nobody but self. Start learning that experiences or situations that take place, they take place. They don't have to go further than the place they took it in. If they go further, just remember you're the carrier. You are the carrier of that. Because if I grew up, if something happened to me on 204th Street in Queens, and I made it to 205th Street, if I'm still bothered with 204th Street, how do you think it got to 205th Street? Right, accountability. The understanding of love is simply, let love do what love do. It don't need your help. Folks need to stop thinking that they need to assist love in existing. It don't need your help. It ain't never need your help. In your creation, between your parents, you got here, whether it was out of love, lust, or whatever, your assistance wasn't needed. You didn't self-born yourself. You had to go through the process of birth. Regardless, whether it was man and woman together, whether it was inseminated, however it was created, it still had to go through the process of birth. In that process, develop self, right? So we come and we're going to continue to love. I'm going to continue to inspire people. I'm going to continue to let folk know, like, listen, everything you seek and everything you want, everything you desire is already in you. When you tap into the positiveness of you, positive results will produce. When you tap into the negative of you, negative things will produce. Start taking accountability. Start really understanding love for what it is. Love is not something that you can buy, purchase, or anything. Those are all likable things. Love has no memory of wrong. It doesn't hold on to the wrong that was done 35, 40 years ago. It doesn't treat someone toward the resentments and it does none of those things. Love is not the reason of it. It's always in you. Pain, unresolved, emotional maturity. As you mature emotionally, that's when you truly begin to mature. Not age-wise. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how intelligent you are. I don't care how many degrees you got. If you have not matured emotionally, you are acting as a child. So when as a child, do as a child. When as a man, do as a man, right? And when you become emotionally immoral and understand that the feelings you feel and the feelings that may be expressed are just that. They don't have to go past the moment nor the time unless we choose to carry them with us. So for this Sunday night and for the rest of the week, each and every one have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed, prosperous week, right? Spiritually. This is inspiration through information, signing off. Enjoy your week. Peace.